when you finally confront the person who's ruining your life. Damn, got too meta. Welcome, guys. Sorry I'm a little late. I'm a few minutes behind, but we're here, and you know, we're here to party. So, what a handsome-looking gentleman. Dude, look at this guy. The name's John. John Frontline. Or I guess it would be the name's Frontline. John Frontline. So I'm a little behind schedule, and in my current part of the world, all week it has been, oh, how to get out of this camera mode. All week it has been a disaster of super hot weather and just humid nonsense. And then right now, when I'm ready to stream, crazy thunderstorms, like, you know, just out of control right now. So the stream might be having a small heart attack, and YouTube is complaining about having a heart attack, so I believe it. But we're gonna struggle through it anyway. I hope. Oh man, I need one of these. I hope everyone else is having a wonderful week. We got a lot of things to cover tonight. Hello, Ron, and no, I have not watched the World Cup. I don't. This is gonna sound so American of me. I don't like soccer. I don't care about it in the slightest. But you know, I've been kind of exposed to some of the, I guess, the fallout of it through the news. You know, like everyone on the internet is like talking about it. So even though I personally don't seek out the information, I hear a few little things. Yes, Pega, we have a new mascot. This is a temporary mascot. Phelan, now that she has been like actualized and is a real person, can you guys hear that crazy thunder in the background? That's not my tummy rumbling. But yes, I've replaced her with, what I'm thinking is maybe I can just will these characters into existence. So the next one up on the list is Tarius here, and she's going to be our temporary mascot until we can think of another one. I'm open to suggestions. If someone's got some really good ideas, you know, some good meme pics, maybe we could put some meme pics up. But no, Phelan is not forgotten. Phelan is just coming soon, and I am gonna tab real quick. And I need a bigger screen. I need a bigger computer. I have 3 monitors, and it's still not enough. Clankers will never be real people. Jesus Christ, Ega, you can't just say that. They're real to, you know, to us. So let's talk about stuff. So today's episode of Thursday Night Frontline Friday Radio special news intro, we're going to talk about some CN news. We're going to talk about some other things happening in the GFL verse, like random little things I think we should bring up. Then we're going to do some very quick gambling, see if we can get that last Harpsy. I think somehow I materialized a couple more tickets. So we're going to try and get the last Harpsy we need, and we're going to move on to Gunsmoke. And then maybe we'll move on to some Dawnforger stuff. Dawnforger, more like Yawnforger, am I right? I fucking got him, dude. Oh, that's mean. That's mean. No, I've done most of Dawnforger so far, and I've had a blast. So we're going to maybe do some heroics. I think the first challenge mode is open today. We'll do that. Maybe we'll do some Splash Bash. I mean, I don't know. Whatever the people want, right? Oh, I need to get my drink for today. Hold up. Hello, Miss Lorelei. I'll have a vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred. That's the 007 drink. Come on, guys. You're just uncultured, dude. Doesn't even know. So let's kick it off real quick while I do this. I have a couple codes here. I'm going to put them in the chat. The one code here, I believe this one was from last week, but I'm going to put it in there again anyway. I think it's still good for a few more days. And then the second code is that one in there. And then this second code is another one that's relatively new. I didn't see it posted very many places, so I thought I would throw it out there. Why do they gotta lead? Like, why do they gotta lead about toys? Like, come on. Like, on any other character, this would be an appropriate question, but you know right what everyone's thinking when you ask this. I'm not gonna click it. You guys need to calm down. Need to chill out a little. Why does he phrase it like that? How do you amuse yourself? I spend most of my time working. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I believe you. Yeah, I love video games too. Fucking, this is gooner bait. Oh yeah, I'm a secret agent spy who also dresses and acts like a supermodel, but that's okay. I love video games. It's like, no, bro, I ain't buying it. Nice try, Lorelai. Toys is crazy, that it is. Okay, let's pull up some. Yes, Roan, we're gonna talk a little bit about AK-12. I don't have very much to say about AK-12, but we'll talk about it here for a moment. Let's see if I can pull it up. This thunderstorm needs to chill out. If the stream just totally dies, like cuts out, it's because I died. So, you know, don't bother calling 911. I'm probably already dead, got hit by lightning, so you know, it is what it is. But I believe it's this. Here we go. Oh, nope, wrong one. But this is, you know, we'll just skip to this right now then. I pulled up the wrong one. This is the merch store. We got some new stuff in the merch store. This is the GFL store.com. This is like their official merchandise store for, I think, anywhere that's not China. I'm not sure exactly where this ships to, but I think it's anywhere not China. And we got some, you know, we got some new goodies that they added. I thought I would shill for them a little bit because they gave me such good luck on my polls last week that, you know, it's time for me to give back to the community. But Jesus is fucking lightning, dude. So yeah, there's a few new things that they added. I think they showed this on stream, the Lorelei mousepad. Oh god, what a value. $40. That's $40 for the softest, most comfortable hand mousepad ever. But there's a couple other things that caught my eye that were not on here before. I don't think anyone had mentioned, like, during the stream or anything. I don't think they mentioned this. Maybe this has been here for a hot minute. I never noticed. But there's like a Leva messenger bag now, so like you can like low key rep. Like if you took off Leva, I guess this is the name here in the bottom. But if you took off the I don't even know if these are included, but the morale patch there, nobody would even know that you're a huge gooner, right? Like you could just kind of pass this off in everyday life. Nobody would really know, except other people that know. And then they come up to you and they start like one of those really, really weird conversations. You know how it goes with like when anime people, two different anime nerds like see each other in public and they identify each other and they try to initiate a conversation, but then like they remember they're antisocial people. So it gets really awkward really fast. But anyway, there's some other cool ones. This, if you have a drinking problem like me, except I put mine in cups. I don't do flasks, but you know, there's this thing. Yeah, water bottle. Yeah, okay. I see what you're doing there, Yuzong. And then there's this, which is this is actually like sewed on. I don't know. I think I saw a picture of it. I guess they don't. I saw a picture of this shirt. Maybe it was up in the thing here. Whatever. The point is that shirt is Jesus Christ. The shirt has got like a little sewed on part at the bottom there, and there's some like random acrylic stuff. So this is also cool. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. This looks like concept art because it's like 2D and flat, but it's called a plush charm, and it's like got a 3-dimensional like layout to it. So I'm really confused what this is. Like, is this supposed to be right? Because like this makes me think it's 2D, but then they have all these different angles, but there's no way it can be a flat object. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's also there. Like, see, like this is the Mr. Pizza I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's like this, but with a shirt on. Don't know though. And then there's that other game that they forgot that they have one character randomly from. Oh, Project NeuroCloud, how I miss you so. Yeah, YouTube is really mad right now. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. As a result, viewers will experience buffering. I'm sorry, guys, about the stream quality. Like I said, the thunderstorms outside. It's just, they literally waited all week. They waited. They tuned in for the stream too. Pricey? I don't know, Ron. This is like pretty standard pricing for like anime merch, right? Like, this is a lie. This is not $14. There we go. This is actually kind of a good bro. Really, they have like gotcha for the other parts of it, the interchangeable outfits, but you got, oh, they screw you in game and in real life. They make you pay a second time. Oh, it's crazy. Well, this isn't too unheard of as far as like pricing for like anime stuff. Anytime I go to an anime convention, these are pretty in line with like the kind of pricing I see. That's hilarious that they charge extra for the extra like parts, as if oh man. Okay, so yeah, there's some new merch on there. I covered that. I don't think they added anything for, yeah, oh god, it's literally just Undine. Oh, so sad. Project Neurocloud. It's funny because GFL1 is still getting updates. Like, I always see stuff on their like main Twitter post explaining about the new you know, the new weekly and monthly changes they're doing to the game, but like Project Neurocloud's been dead for over a year. Oh, it's so sad. They just totally forgot it. What's this? Did I ever even see this? Oh, they got a hoodie? Oh, look at that. Can't really, I wish they would just show you like a picture of the actual thing instead of the concept art for it. But I don't give a shit about Thompson, sorry. So yeah, there we go. That's my shilling done. You know, make sure you guys fund our next you know, costume skin by buying merch. Okay, moving on. Where's the other? Okay, this I believe is AK-12 news. All right, let's talk about AK-12, now known as Kalita. And let me catch up with chat real quick. Do they have a backpack? No, I did not see any backpacks, Pega. The closest thing was that messenger bag. And I will not be doing a 4th of July stream because I will be gone on the 4th of July. I have like mega huge American parties to go to because, you know, it is the 250th America birthday. That's a big number. We're a quarter of a millennium old, you know, and it's not quite as old as many other countries in the world, but it's, you know, it's a pretty good milestone. PNC, more like Project Never Cared, am I right? Goddamn, Pega. Goddamn, that hurts. That hurts. So let's talk about Kalita real quick. I didn't really have any good, like, stuff to show you, like videos and stuff, because everyone has been slacking. Everyone's too busy jerking off to whatever the new thing on CN is, and they have not been posting good videos or like clips of how to use her. You know, we're just gonna kind of quickly walk through her skills. You know, the big takeaway from her is that she summons a car similar to how all the other Hydro characters. She's essentially a Hydro character, right? Last week there was a little bit of confusion as to like, was she a Hydro character? Was she an Ice character? Because like, I guess, you know, she can take on different elements as far as like how she does damage. She's a Hydro character. Like, long story short, she's a Hydro character. She has a summon. The summon is a car. You know, take it or leave it. It exists on the field. Like, I believe, let's see. There is like one little video here. The card does exist on field. It is a physical summon. You'll see it here at the end. Pull up. Yeah, I pull up. So it does actually take up room and it is targetable. Like, it can die. I'll quickly walk through her skills. But the short of it is she's got a basic attack, nothing fancy there. And then she has 2 skills. The third skill here, Tactical Playbook, this is just a self buff. Does nothing besides self buffs her team and lets her use OTS 14's weapon. Remember what I was telling you about? How about that weapon is stupid? Well, you know. But yes, I believe this one allows it to her. She just gets some buffs, whatever. The other skill here, Eye of the Snow Wolf here. This is just a directed attack at a target, and then it just buffs the car, really. Like, the car has a whole bunch of these different modes. Like, so for example, it goes to N gear, goes to S gear, goes to S+++ gear, T0. Why don't they just name these tiers, right? Like tier 5, tier 2, tier 0. And long story short, depending on what ability she uses, it switches gears. all it does is changes like the amount of damage it does. Like it's dumb, it's overcomplicated, and to be honest, I don't know why it's there. Personally, this is just like whatever. So yes, all she has really is a targeted skill that does damage, and the car gets a bunch of boosts for it. So let's move on to the car. The alt obviously summons the car. And then at the end of her turn, she has a lot of self buffs, like this upshift buff here. This is just one that increases her, I believe it's her outgoing hydro damage, and might even increase her crit. But it's just a bunch of self buffs. And the whole point of her is she summons the car. She kind of just stands around and splashes while the car exists on the field, and then the car does all the important stuff. The big things that the car does is it abducts one of your waifus and drives away into the sunset. So this first ability here, let's go for a spin. You pick one of your teammates besides Kalita, and that person gets in the car, gets removed from the field so that like, they don't exist anymore. They can't use any abilities and whatnot. And then it gets a bunch of stat bonuses and stuff according to who's in the car. And then it gets to do its other abilities, which this is the big swirly AoE attack that pulls everyone into the middle and, you know, applies some more buffs and whatnot. And that's, you know, it's kind of it. Right? Like, that's kind of the whole gimmick. The whole gimmick is she summons a car, somebody gets in the car and drives the car around. So it's weird. It's different. It is a play style. You know, I think some people are going to love it or some people are going to hate it. And I feel like I might be in the hate it category. Like, I think this is her other skill. Like, it literally is just shoot the splash and shoot the target. Oh no, this is the self buff. Whoever posted these is a huge slacker and literally only has the, who is this, Ferrari? God fucking damn it, Ferrari. Do your fucking job, bro. Yeah. Like I said, take it or leave it. I mean, as I predicted, this character is incredibly strong. You know, no surprise there. The power creep continues. She's now doing the most damage of any of the Hydro characters. You know, surprise, surprise. What a shocker. And you know, I don't know. This card gimmick thing might be really obnoxious. I don't think I have information on the. I don't have information on the fortification segments. No, I don't. There's a bunch of keys here. None of these really do anything. The only one that's important to note is that this one here, remember the name. This one allows her to apply defense down 2, which is the same thing that segment 1 middle does. I keep calling her Mitley. It's middle. That's the same thing she does. So you kind of don't have to get segment 1 on her now if you just need someone to apply defense down. But it's weird because the car is a physical summon. It can take all the physical summon buffs like the stimmies from Florence. So like you kind of already want to run Florence on that team because of the stimmy buff. And Florence is already doing the defense down. So it's kind of weird. This might be more important later on. If maybe they come out with a really solid, like Florence is kind of like on the edge of getting removed from that team. I wouldn't be surprised just to see her go the way of Nikita. Just like poof, gone. So yeah, I don't really have much to show you other than that. Maybe next time we stream, we'll have a little bit more. The weapon here does nothing fancy. What is it? I already forgot what it does. Yeah, user in their summon does increase physical damage. Or, sorry, physical summons do increase damage. And then they get some random buff. These are actually kind of weird. The piercing buff is like, you hardly ever see this on anybody. I believe this is... I'm having a mind blank. I can't remember if this is you ignore their defense or if it's you ignore their stability. I want to say it's you ignore their defense. We can check. So yeah, you know, you couldn't, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily, remember I did say that you could use Groz's weapon or OTS 14's weapon. You probably still wouldn't want to because, you know, the car is a physical summon. You want to increase it with this weapon, but like I said, it's, I don't know. The car also inherits her stats, so it's like really weird. I think I think it's in the passive here. It doesn't say. It's in here somewhere that it talks about where it inherits its stats. So I'm not 100% sure what is the better option just yet on her. Like, I don't even know if there's a big difference or a little difference, right? Because if the OTS 14 weapon buffs Alita's stats and then the car inherits those stats, because remember the big thing is the attack power buff on it, that might be like an equal or pretty good trade-off compared to her personal weapon here, the Chernabog. So looking to be a solid character overall. I don't know how this car thing is going to age. The summon team as a whole is like, it really does feel like they're just trying random stuff. Like the car is extra weird too, because if we look at the car here, and like I said, a lot of this is probably going to be a lot easier to understand when you actually use the character. But I think it's under the, let's go for spin. Yeah, if the center, which is the car, is destroyed, the unit inside also dies. But then, at least according to this translation, there's a key that just says Lamau, the car doesn't die. So like, what's even the point? Like it just seems like this whole kit and this whole idea is just kind of like a bunch of random ideas thrown together, and there's like kind of no rhyme or reason. Like, I don't know, why would you have the car blow up and die and then give a key where that doesn't happen unless this is translated wrong? I don't know. You know, I just work here, man. I just shill for them, and I gamble, right? Like I don't come up with this stuff. All right, let me catch up with chat now. Oh, all these words. Roan, I was low-key trying to find out her gameplay, and there's just Gunnerbait dorm interactions. Yeah, that's exactly the issue I had. I was trying to find some decent like footage to show, and all I could get was that. And there was a couple people that had like random stuff, but as usual, they were like tryharding Gunsmoke and stuff. They were just clicking so fast you couldn't even tell what the hell was happening because there's a million things happening on screen. So I'm like, that's not really a good example for people who don't like. For example, if you have middle splashing around and making puddles everywhere, it's going to be really hard to tell what the hell's happening on screen. So I didn't really want to show that. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait a little bit. You guys arguing about the Klukai Springfield divide? Oh man, I'll let you guys argue about that. No, I have opinions, but we already talked about those. Okay, I think we're all good. Yeah, sorry, Zero. Everyone else pretty much answered the questions. I was just kind of rereading what everyone had mentioned, and yes, they pretty much answered it. So we're gonna move on. That was CN side news. We talked about AK-12. I'll try my best next time to have some like better information to give you guys. I'm actually more excited to see what STAR 15 does, because she has a lot of work to do. They said she's going to be physical fire. That could mean one of two things, because every time recently they've said a character is a dual element or a multi-element, with the exception of Omni Groza, it's been literally one element. Like Sapo is essentially frost, Kalita is essentially water. It's not clear which element Star is going to be. I'm going to guess probably physical, because they kind of need some help right now, with maybe a little bit of fire damage on there in case you want to run her in a different team. But she has a lot of work to do. I wonder if she's going to be like a character that has 100 lines of text and like 30 million paragraphs of passives just to try and fix the team. That's the part I'm not so sure about. I forgot I gotta water my plant today. Oh god, I forgot I gotta do that too. I've been ignoring them all week. I keep walking by and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Gotta get I hope you guys have been watering your flowers. You know, if you're a day off, I'm uninviting you to my 4th of July party. Okay, let's. All right, I'm gonna do this. This might be a mistake, and then we'll get to like real content after this. And 1 second, I gotta close one of my windows. Go. See, told you, Dawnforger, dude, Dawnforger. Got a fucking problem? See, Ksenia's got the paranoia. It's creeping in. One v one me in real life, I swear on me mum. I do like how these cutscenes are like actually voiced. That's pretty cool. Damn, no. What do you mean she looks suspicious? Come on. Come on. What game are you guys playing? They playing blackjack? They playing poker? What's going on here? Oh, yeah. Stream is still dying. Sorry, dudes. Can't do much about that. How ungodly OP does STR have to be to carry the physical team? Really OP. To be honest, I feel like the team needs a whole new mechanic. Right? Like, they... At this point, to me, it seems that they should have realized that the physical team doesn't interact with tiles in any way, and so they're just behind a bunch because of that. And so my initial thought would be like, well, once they realize that, they're going to come out with like a physical version of tile interactions. Either that's not tile based or just whatever. It's something only physical units can do to kind of like make up the gap, but they didn't. So that makes me think that the only way to do that is just through like crazy amounts of buffs, which comes to a weird problem because then you're going to have units like AK-12 here or AK-15 that are just huge beat sticks that do a lot of damage, but they don't interact with the element system in any way, which wouldn't be the worst thing because you could then just slot them in as like the 5th member of a random team. So let's say you had like a, I don't know, Hydro Fire team that had 4 members that kind of covered all the bases and you just kind of didn't know who to put in for the last slot. Well, you could use just like a big like damage dealer, even though that character doesn't synergize well with the team. It's like maybe just the raw damage makes up for it. So either all the physical units are going to go in that direction where they just like are huge beat sticks, but then they don't like benefit from a lot of the team buffs. They don't benefit from a lot of the team building. Or they're going to do another Yuhi where they try and make a team-wide mechanic. Think of like the Ember system. They're going to try and do that, but for physical. And to be honest, I don't know how they're going to do that. That's kind of a mess. Oh, that's right. We got this already. We have nothing to gamble here. We're going to move on to other gambling. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something here. I haven't been really doing a lot with the food system here because Paul wrote a guide that was horrible and I couldn't understand it. He didn't make a video guide and I asked him basic questions and he just ignored me. So he's, you know, a really mean dude. But I haven't been messing with this too much. The one thing I did kind of want to cover, actually, is there are a couple recipes. I think this is one of them. There are a couple recipes that you guys have probably noticed here that have the text that say consumption over long periods of time will improve X, Y, and Z. For this example, we're going to use the sweet potatoes here because I have a lot of those. This is a permanent buff that you can stack. So let me go ahead and make one. It's probably easier just to show it than to try and do it. So we'll make one. Doesn't really matter who makes it. Sabrina, you won't mess this up, right? You're the goat. You're the cooking goat. Yeah, you got this. Now, normally it'll show it to you like as if you were going to eat it, but then it just packs it up for you right away in the to-go box. Now, how this works, I think I've been... So yes, you have to use them right away. Like, you can't just like save these up. I know Paul's in the chat right now defending himself, but I'm just going to ignore him. So I'm going to keep just playing the game, pretending like he's not messaging me. Where is Lind? I was feeding these to Lind. These are going to be our test subject because they're purple. They're purple potatoes, and she wears purple, and corrosion is purple, right? So when you make one of these dishes, you have to go to the character on the crew deck, and then go to crew give dish. And when you go to give the dish, I've already leveled this up once. You'll see that the satiety bar, satiety? I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's supposed to be satiation bar, whatever. It fills up every time you hit a new mark. So for example, tier 2 here would be 15. I got to get to 15, which right now I'm not quite there. You'll get an improvement to HP. And if we look here, we'll see how many of these we've gotten so far. So I can improve her attack 3 times, defense 3 times, HP 3 times, and then obviously the element of their. This is a good question. How does this work for dual element characters? Like for example, Sopmod, is it corrosion boost and fire boost? Huh, interesting. Or ice and fire. Anyway, so yes, as you give them the food, so we'll go ahead and give this to her. Once we get that, it'll go up to plus 10 HP, etc., etc. So this is something you might want to do to your favorite unit over the long period of time. A lot of the dishes require those sacred bell peppers. I picked the potato one there because that's like the only dish that doesn't require them. But a lot of the other dishes do require the sacred bell peppers, which are pretty rare ingredients, and you need them for a lot of important stuff. So, it's probably better not to waste them. But that's something you guys can work on with the food system. Other than that, for our Gunsmoke runs today, I don't even think we're going to use food. I don't need to usually. Okay, let me look at the chat now. I'm sure Paul's blowing me up for throwing him under the bus. I wanted to segment 3 Cheyenne, but if physical is unsalvageable, might as well stay at 0-1. Pega, this is my recommendation. Is I personally think you stay at 0-1 until you get like confirmation. If STAR brings physical out of the gutter, then maybe, and you will know that, I think. Yes, well, we should know that by the time her Cheyenne's banner is over. We'll have a pretty good idea, like, because the numbers will be pretty clear. Like if it's a big boost for the physical team, or if she does something that just buffs like all physical element characters, it'll be pretty obvious. So otherwise hold off. Now, if you want to play the long game, you can just wait till the rerun for Cheyenne to pick up more of the segments. And then we'll probably have a really good idea. Because that's the other thing. A lot of characters, they see small spikes, but they might see a big spike if we get like 2 in a row. Like, for example, if the character right after AR-15 is another physical character that's really strong, then the physical team might skyrocket back to like the top, That's just, that's the problem with like the power creep. And this is the complaint I had about it, was that we're going to be forever in this like weird oscillation of like this team's OP, this team sucks, this team's OP, this team sucks. Like that is the one problem with releasing characters and doing power creep the way they're currently doing it in the game, is that it is so unstable, like the meta and like what you're grabbing, it's so unstable that it's really hard to plan forward, right? Like there's a lot of units that will come out, they'll be good for a little bit, and then they'll fall off very hard very quickly. Like AK-15 is a good example, right? Like even a couple months ago, people were saying, oh yeah, dude, AK-15, so good, best unit ever, dude. Everyone's got to get segment 6, makes, you know, so much unga bunga damage. And now people are already like, well, I don't know, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Physical kind of sucks now after the tile rework. So it's like, you know, it's unfortunate, but that's just where we're at. Did I get the free Harpsy? Yes, I got 1 free Harpsy. I need 1 more to go, which is what we're going to go gamble here in a second. If I want to make a video for it, go for it, Paul says. Yeah, see, Paul, but that's a lot of effort, man. You know, I just want to bully you for your guide. No, but in all seriousness, though, his guide is pretty good. I did follow it. I just haven't had a chance to really come in here and use up all these ingredients and mix and match stuff. Partially also because this Gunsmoke is like so chill for my account. I don't need any of the buffs. Like I don't need to be doing, if I really wanted to, I could just use good old the braised intestines here, but I don't even need to do that. So I haven't had a motivation to really do any of the dishes yet. And I also haven't done my face clash for the week, so I've been mega slacking, dude. I'm a ultra slacker. Let's do a super quick gamble session. I still don't know even how I'm going to do this, right? Because the only thing I would get off of here would be maybe a segment 2 Springfield, I guess. Like I don't really know, none of these characters, I don't need segments or anything. Klukai, mine is a 0, so I mean I guess I could go all in. Maybe I should get a Belka. Maybe I should get at least 1 Belka so that Paul will be my friend again after all those mean things I just said about him. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to do that. It seems like such a waste to not use up the guarantee, right? Because like, what if I get it in like 10, right? Like that's, you know, we'll come back to this. We might have to come back to this. This is going to be here for a little bit, but let's do these 30 on Harpsy here. I am 1 segment away from maxing her out, but we are going to use her tonight. So I'm not like teasing you guys. We're going to use her no matter what at segment 5 or segment 6. We'll see how that goes. So let's just go ahead and toss these in there and see what we come up with. And Paul says for that food, it goes on whatever the primary element is. So for example, Satmod would have been ice. She would have had an ice element buff. The Gambler's Fallacy. Dude, I'm all about the Gambler's Fallacy. Look at this. Nice. I'm all about the Gambler's Fallacy. I am actually trying to be a little well-behaved with my tickets because I definitely want to get segment 6 Phelan without having to like swipe really hard. Like I'm willing to buy. So normally, let's see, let me just do this last one and then I'll tell my story. Not really a story. Oh, we didn't get it. No crazy ridiculous luck this week. Normally I just buy the battle pass. Oh, it ran out. I gotta buy this today, dude. I'm slacking. That's how you know it's been a busy week for me. I haven't even had a chance to get this. Normally I just buy that and the battle pass or the Voyager pass or whatever. But I'm willing to go a little deeper, you know, and grab some I don't know, what are these? These ones are decent value. And there's a couple other ones in here that are like, you know, pretty much $1 per ticket. Is it this one? Yeah, there's a couple. So I'm willing to spend a little money if I have to for to finish up segment 6 Phelan, but I kind of want to just budget accordingly. And there's a couple characters coming up that I want to get at least at their base form. And it's like I gotta be a little careful. Like I can't just be throwing like tickets away. Like I thought about getting the segment 1 and the weapon for General Liu, and I just don't know if that's gonna be like feasible. Like segment ones, like as we learned from my Fetusa gambling, segment ones can be kind of spicy, and you can, like I said, you can go real deep unintentionally. So I got to be a little well behaved. I'll be skipping Groza. I know. He made a video. He makes a video. He says everyone has segment 6 Fukai and segment 6 OTS 14, and then he gets neither of them. What a sham. Okay, these are the units we are using for today's Gunsmoke fun line. This is the Harpsy. We have up to segment 5 now, thanks to the free one you get from doing the daily whatevers. She's built okay. I have her using the Face Strike set. That's all maxed out, so that'll help. Because luckily, nobody else on this team is a submachine gun, so she gets to use that. And I just have some crappy keys here. These are nothing special. Essentially, I'm just using them for 5, 10, and 10. I'm sorry, 5 crit, 5 attack, and 5 more attack. None of these are really going to come into play. This one might come into play a little bit because of her antivirus program, but these other ones are going to not really do anything. But they're just here just for the 5% attack boost. So there is a little more min-maxing to do on this Harpsy, but we're decent. You know, this is the Imago forms / her molding cores that I'm using. If anyone cares, I don't know why anyone would care. These are kind of, you know, do what you want. So this is going to be some of the, I'm going to talk about the team here in a minute, because there's obviously 6 characters here and we can only use 5. That'll be team 1, and then team 2. This is going to be probably team 2. And I know, there's someone already, he's like, why is Fetusa on this team? And you'll see why. The short answer is she just does a lot of damage with these elements right now. And this is actually a pretty decent fit. So those are the teams we're going to be using. Let's hop over to Gunsmoke gun line. Mostly, I wanted to play around a little bit with Harpsy here. I did a test earlier, and it went better than I thought it would. So we're going to try it again with today's buffs. We got Chain Acid Swamp. This is the most cracked buff for Corrosion team. So she actually might do pretty decent. Normally the team goes like this. Normally we take good old Lind, we take a Cluckers, and then usually it's Basti. Sometimes I'll do like Fetusa. Like previous runs I did Fetusa and Mishti, but this week I've been doing this and then putting Fetusa to the other team, the fire team. But this raises an interesting question. If we're going to take Basti and Harpsy, we can't take both of these. And this is where it becomes a little weird with the team building. A large amount of the damage of Pretia comes from Mishti's passive, right? The one that I think it's called Nightmare Shroud, the one that makes all of your support attacks do an extra 50% corrosion damage. That almost doubles her damage, right? Because normally I believe they're 50% attack, and with Mishti on the team, it makes it go to 100% attack. So all of a sudden, all of her, support attacks, which is the main source of her damage, is pretty much doubled. Since we can't take both of them, it gets weird, right? Like, do we want to take Pretia without Mishti? Like, then it's weird because the only person that's, she doesn't get the buff. Sorry, the other way around. If we take Mishti, then nobody's benefiting, right? Because Lynn does one support attack and that's it. I guess technically Basti does a support attack when she ults. Actually, I don't even know if those are considered support attacks or interceptions, but whatever. It's almost nobody is utilizing the Nightmare Shroud for Mishti. So Mishti just kind of is like there. So it gets really weird, but this is the team we're going to go with. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth bringing Pretia if you're not bringing Mishti. So we're going to go with this. And essentially we're just swapping Pretia for Mishti in this, or for Harpsy in this team. So let's give this a try. Hello, new player. I just wanted some opinions. I got myself a segment 6 Cluckers. Congratulations. I'm planning to get the other units for a team, but I wanted to ask if it's worth to get Foy Messina on the rerun or save for OTS 14. I'm The short answer is I think you would say for OTS 14. I don't think Voimastina is worth, especially now. It'd be her second rerun, I believe, which I don't even know when that will be, right? I'm assuming they're going to rerun her again pretty quick because she's a pretty strong unit. But to be honest, OTS 14 is just an upgrade from her. The only time you would need a Voimastina is if you're doing like any of the heroic modes or something, you just want to kill the whole map on the first turn, but you could just borrow one for that. You know, when it comes to like Gunsmoke, like here, it's not really worth it in my opinion. Let's do this. I think it's better just to go for OTS 14. That's a short answer. Thunder says, I spent 6 hours organizing my flowers for the remolding pattern after coming back to the game, and then I realized they did not need that much effort. Yeah, that's funny because it's like I do the same thing. I go min-max all these, right? I like, oh yeah, how do I get the maximum amount of, I guess I can't even see him here, but like, you know, you get like the max amount of this and that, and it's like, bro, I did the math for a lot of these things. Less than 1% damage difference. Like in my Alva video that I did, I showed the difference between stacking the attack boost versus, or fighting spirit versus the shielding slash healing buff. Literally, I think it came out to a 0.6% difference. So it's like these things are so small, it's like not even worth worrying about, but it gives you something to min-max for fun. Let me look. Mishi will be getting buff on the first turn. Then Lin moves to here. I gotta double check how I do this. There might be a better way. Like, we might be able to do it this way. I don't know who takes the front buff then. But she only hits once a turn. Technically twice a turn. You know what? We're gonna try this. This is different than how I did it last time, but we're gonna, you know, or do the Miss Frizzle. We're gonna get messy and we're gonna make mistakes. Yeah, Pega says press auto equip for the remolding pattern. You do have to watch auto equip though, Pega, because I have caught it doing some ridiculous stuff. Like pure AoE characters like Harpsy, I think I hit auto equip just to see what it would give her. And even though all of her attacks are AoE corrosion damage, it gave her a bunch of the non-AoE ones. I forgot what they're called. So it's like you gotta fact check the auto equip system, but it does work most of the time. Although I guess you're right, you know, back to what we said originally, even if it auto equips the stupidest stuff, you're probably down like 1 or 2% DPS. It's not a big deal. Let me think how we're doing this. Ooh, I remember now why. Oh, she can make it. Nice. That is the advantage of having someone with a crazy amount of mobility. All right, cool. The reason I used to have Mishi sometimes back here is because I wanted her to knock 2 stacks off just so that everybody could actually move around, right? Because they have the movement down, the movement suppression. But Harpsy is the only one that needs to really move, and she's just got to get to there, so that'll be fine. Let me do Basti, and then I'll explain how Harpsy works for those of you who did not actually pay attention to what she does. Because I would not be surprised to see that people grabbed her and like probably don't know what she does. Okay. How Harpsy works. It changes at segment 1. But since you're giving her for free and she's on that banner, I'm gonna just talk from here on out as if she's segment 1. This changes a tiny bit. But how it works is, during her turn, what you want to do is you put expansive amplification on 2 allies. At segment less than segment 1, it's only 1 ally, but you're going to do it up to 2 allies a turn. You want to do it on teammates that hit multiple times, that do multiple active attacks. So in our case, that's going to be Kukai because she zooms twice. And you're going to, I think the other target, primary target, is going to be Lind. I don't know if the support attack counts. Thinking about that. I'm not sure, but Klukai is definitely one of them we want to get, which is awkward because she is not the closest. So you use this ability on your teammate. They get a buff. You get to do it again. And the goal is to put this buff on everybody over the course of the fight. So turn 1 puts it on these two. Turn 2 will put it on Basti and Mishti. And then we'll just be spamming her ult. You'll see in a second here. So after you've used that, the only other ability you can use here is fight poison with poison. This just puts 2 stacks of her dot on them. It's kind of, I don't want to call it a dot. It's this little icon, this little like pixelated thing here. I don't really want to call it a dot because it's a one-time use. It only lasts for 1 hit. So it's kind of more like a stacking detonation, but we'll just call it a dot for simplicity's sake. Now, whenever a character goes, so if we look here, it is called antivirus program here. It's got 2 stacks. When Klukai goes, each time she goes, this should be another stack. For every active attack the character with this on them does, it should be another stack. So it's kind of choking. The game's not having a good day. All right, let's double check here. We should be up to, I think, 4 stacks. Yeah, 4 stacks. There we go. Now we can check Lind real quick. So when Lind goes, Mishi. This is where it gets weird on this particular team because Lind is gonna trigger it. Remember when I said it's a one-time dot? So Lind is gonna use her ult. It's gonna trigger it and it's gonna go away. I should slow this down if I can. Oh, well, there it was. That was all that was a little hard to see, but we'll slow it down next time. But yeah, it detonated there. You'll see he lost the little thing over his head. He doesn't have any more stacks on here, but when Lynn makes her attack, this will put a new stack on. Here we go. So now he's got a stack in. Let's see if I slow it down. So there it went off right there before I could even slow it down. Boss is going to take the rest of his turn like normal. And now we're back to this. So what we're going to do is I want to move her here. We'll put the last 2 stacks on. Once again, we're just spreading the buff around. Whenever you apply the expansive amplification to an ally, anybody else who already has it, it gets refreshed. So the long story short is every turn you're just going to cast this on 2 people. And next turn, when we have no targets, we're just going to keep casting it on anybody, really. Okay, cool. Now everyone on the team has it. Every time they attack, they're going to put another stack of the dot on the target. So there was 2 stacks from her, right? Check. It's in here somewhere. Antivirus, 2 stacks from her. This isn't going to be 2 active attacks, I believe, when Mishti ends her turn. It'll be the splat. There's 1. And then the other targeted attack. This should be, oops, 2 more stacks if I can click it. Here we go. Now we're up to 4. This is a little weird. When Basti goes, this doesn't count as active attacks from her because it's the mines that are detonating. So let me slow it down here. When Basti puts the mine down, since it's a physical summon, the physical summon is what's doing the damage. And you'll see that the count did not go up. It's still at 4. So unfortunately, Basti is kind of like dead weight with Harpsy. The good news is that the alt does count, but we're on the even number turn, so the alt is on cooldown. So we're at 4 stacks still. I'm gonna have Lynn go just to knock this last. Where is it? I always forget the names of these things, but I want to be accurate for people who are not familiar. Field enhancement. I want to knock the last stack of field enhancement off. So when we do it, what's going to happen is the dot is going to trigger again. You'll see it go off right away. It'll be the first thing that goes off. it'll like kind of explode. You'll see it disappear. And then all the other dots from the team are going to go off after it, mainly Klukai's dots. So when we hit this, first one that goes off will be Harpsies. Zap, 50,000, not bad. And then this is all Klukai's nonsense. Splat. And then we're gonna do her active attack. And this will put it back to 1. Not Corrosive Fusion. Antivirus. We're back to 1 now. Cool. And the rest of the team is just gonna take their turns like normal. The one problem with this team now is because we've swapped out Peritia for Harpsy, and to be honest, even Fetusa does a better job than Harpsy at this. You'll notice we have a problem with breaking stability now. This guy has so much stability that we are struggling to get through it. Like, if Peritia was on this team, this boss probably would have been stability broken like at the very beginning of the turn. But instead, it takes us almost 2 complete turns to break it. Like, it's going to break after this from the over the turn dot explosions, but it feels really bad in a way that we've gone 2 entire turns without breaking stability, which means that he's still benefiting from his passive damage reduction here. Just, you know, that's not value. But you'll see he'll break at the end of this turn right there. He broke when the dot went off, or Harpsy's dot, I should say. The only problem with that is that it counts as it breaking on turn 2. So that means he's going to recover on turn 4. So even though it broke at the very end of the turn there, we got almost no value out of it. This turn, he'll be complete stability broken for the turn, but he's going to get it all back on the beginning of turn 4, which is, you know, not the greatest. Okay, so now that we have the buff on literally everybody on the team, we still need to cast it for 2 reasons. One, it'll refresh it on everybody if we pick a target that already has it, which right now is everybody because she can't put it on herself. So if we pick Basti, it's going to refresh it on everybody. Which doesn't, you don't get any like notifications that it happens, but check. Where is it? Priority progress. There we go. It's back up to 2 turns. But the other thing that happens is you'll notice she gets a bunch of extra confectants. So at the very last sentence here, she gains 3 confectants. So you do want to do it because the idea is that you want to max out the amount of confectants you have. And this changes a little bit at higher segments because you get more and more benefits from doing this. But then when you alt, it's going to dump all the damage into this alt. I mean, sorry, all the confectants into this alt. So the alt will hit the boss, and it'll apply priority progress for, I think it's every confectants over 3, right? Yeah, it has more than 3 confectants. Yeah, so what's going to happen is, what should happen is the boss should get 3 stacks of Harpsy's antivirus program from this, because it'll be 3 to do the alt, and then 3 extra that get used. Let's see if I slow this down. Sorry, I have the animations on fast mode. 250,000 is not bad. Not bad at all for a weak fragile little Harpsy here. But yeah, so it should have gotten 3 stacks. Let's see if I remember all the math correctly. 6 stacks. And I can't remember if that's from one of her segments or not. Skill is doubled. It's in here somewhere. This is why it's a little confusing, because there's so many segments I can't look at right this very moment. One of the segments, I think, increases that, which made it go to 6. But if you're like segment 1 or something, it would have just been 3 stacks. But that's essentially her entire rotation now, is every turn we're going to be doing expansive amplification twice on doesn't really matter who. Just the only reason to do that is to get max confectants so that we can use her alt on the target. And that's pretty much all it is. So we'll just... I'm going to speed through the rest of this so we can get to the second run, because we're already an hour in. Oh my god, he talks so much. He does so much yapping. Oh, and before I forget, I need to have Lynn go first to knock these I already forgot what they're called. Whatever these stacks are. Whatever the boss stacks are. Field manipulation? Field whatever? Boom. It doesn't really matter what order the team goes right now because, like I said, boss is already stability broken. He has all of the debuffs on him. He has Toxic Inundation. He's got Scribbly Funny Face. He's got all the other dumb names that I can't remember. So this does not matter. Also, this team gets a little weird with Klukai. I want to say even without Segment 6 Lind, you still generate enough attacks to get Klukai's ult recharged every single time, but I'm not positive because I only ever use Segment 6 Lind. But I'm pretty sure you're still good to go there. So we'll just do that. My game and my internet are chugging today. We do need to move Lind out of this spot. She's got 3 stacks now, so she can get rotated out. We can put the stacks on Mishti. Spam this on 2 people, doesn't matter who. Like, these hit surprisingly hard. So her segment 6 increases the dot damage when it explodes, and also makes it so that all the stacks are cleared. So she's going to be doing even more damage to this in the future, but like when she ults here, I mean, this, you know, 250,000, that's not bad. I mean, sure, we're in a super shield environment, right? We have like extra crit and extra corrosion damage, and then we have chain acid swamp on top of this. So this is like, you know, the top of the performance chart for Harpsy, but like it's not bad, right? And the nice thing is she doesn't really need any teammates, right? Like Pretia needs Mishti and ideally Klukai to trigger all the attacks, but you know, Harpsy just, you know, just kind of exists. Let's just breeze through these turns real quick. I know I said that a minute ago, but I'm gonna actually do it now. So, you know, she's not as bad as I thought she was going to be. I'd like to see what her segment 6 does to her overall damage. We'll see at the end here what the damage chart looks like. The big downside for sure is the fact that stability breaking is not easy. I might have to restart the game after this run just to see what's going on here, because it is definitely chugging. We're gonna have Basti go first just to try and get more of the stability off. I still don't think we're gonna get to break the boss before it's time for the important characters to go, but Lind won't get it. Will Klukai get it? No, this is just going to be a real sad turn. I'm guessing one of the random buffs we did not get was the stability damage too. Sometimes it's a little closer. Sometimes you're pretty close to breaking the boss. Who are we voting for the popularity contest tomorrow? Now that's a good question, Tega. That is a really good question. We need to come together as a community and make sure that who's probably going to win it. We just need to make sure that they don't win it, because I know it's going to be a Gunnar character. I just can't figure out who it's going to be. Who won last time on CN side for their second round? I'm sure Macchiato's going to be up there, but like, please, no more outfits for Macchiato either. I need you guys to help me out here. We need to undo a wrong. We need to right a wrong. I'm trying to think of who got like the worst. Dude, we could put Ulrid at the top. If we come together and we make Ulrid win. Oh my god, the game. Please let me click correctly. If we make Ulrid win, they'll have to make a costume for her. They won't be able to deny us. We'll have forced them. I'm trying to think of who else we could, you know, what other character like got really shafted on their outfits. To be honest, there's a lot of them. Here we go, big damage, big damage. Whoa. Oh my god, 300,000 damage. Harpsy, dude, keyboard warrior. Yada yada does it. Oh wait, we gotta have Kukai go. I want Lynn to get the kill shot. Okay, maybe. Okay, maybe Lynn's not even gonna get a chance to go. You know what? Fuck it. I'm sandbagging. He's sandbagging. Get out of here! Get out of here, Kukai. Lynn gets the glory. So we were really far ahead. Like, this is turn 6. This is only turn 6, and like we had a whole Klukai alt extra. I mean, once again, this is the super ultra shield environment, but that's still pretty damn good. Let's take a look here. Yeah, good job, Harpsy. You did great. At least I think you did. Oh yeah, dude, you did good. Look at this. Look at this. These are respectable numbers, right? Like, this is about how much damage Paritia does. I want to say when this exact same team earlier in the week when I was running with Paritia. In fact, I can look if you give me a second here. I do keep records of this stuff. Yeah, Paritia on this fight, killing the boss almost the exact same amount of turns and everything, because it usually dies at the end of turn 6 here. Paritia does 2,086,000. So yes, Harpsy actually did a teeny tiny bit more. I'm guessing that's because I gave her the near buff, but still, that is a very respectable performance from a segment 5 Harpsy. So yeah, I mean, if you just need someone to slot in a team that, you know, you just need a body on the field, yeah, you're not the worst choice. Especially if you don't necessarily need something like the stability or anything else. Not bad. Not bad at all. Good job, Harpsy. You impressed me. I thought she was going to do way less. To be honest, I thought she was going to be pulling like Mishti numbers. I thought like even with all the segments, we're going to be like struggling. She was going to be struggling to break 1 million. But, you know, she did pretty good. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I don't even know why I used that quote. Nobody in this chat is old enough to even remember what movie that's from. Lorelei is gonna win. Yeah, I mean, I kind of Latara. No, not Latara, dude. She can continue to sit in the timeout box. They'll simply print more Gunnar skins and rig the roll or the polls, and yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, Null, but we can hope for a brighter future. How much investment does this lineup have? That lineup had, I think it was just the Lind. I mean, and the Meech team. No, not this formation. I have my segment 6 Lind. This is my segment 6 Lind that I use. I borrowed a segment 6 Klukai. I think that segment 6 Klukai also has a maxed out weapon. In fact, I can check in a minute here. This is a segment 0 Mishti with her weapon that we got for free over Christmas time. This is a segment 0 Basti with the weapon. And then, yeah, this is Harpsy with her weapon, but she's only segment 5. So there is a decent amount of investment in this team. To be fair, like a comparable unit would also have been segment 6. Oh yeah, that's what I had forgot to mention. I had not been using Paritia in previous Gunsmokes. Because remember, I don't know if anybody remembers, but I was saying for the longest time, I had never gotten a Paritia in the, whatever these things are called, the commission boxes. I forgot. What are they? Mystery boxes. I didn't get a Paritia in these, and I've done like 1,400. Go figure. After we did our gambling session, last week and I was like on fire. I literally got 2 Paritias in 100 of those boxes. 2. I go 1400 without getting a single one, then bam, 2 in a row. I'm just like, bro, are you kidding me? And sure enough, that maxed her out. So I was, you know, I finally am in the Cool Kids Club and I have a maxed out Paritia. About 6 months too late, but you know, it's still kind of cool. So yes, it's segment 6 Lind, segment 6 Klukai, and then three supports. You don't actually need, to be honest, if we swapped Harpsy for Fetusa, this is a segment 1 Fetusa, but even at segment 0, I'm pretty sure Fetusa would pull bigger numbers than Harpsy in that team. I want to say in previous Gunsmokes, this Fetusa was pulling about 3 million. So about a third more than Harpsy here. But we were already overkilling the boss by so much because we're killing him on turn 6 that I moved this Fetusa over to the fire team, which we're going to do here in a second. And we're gonna see the power of Lorelei. The test smoke team. So this is pretty standard. The weird part about this is the Fetusa. And once again, Fetusa is kind of comfy in this team because, first of all, for this daily buff, she actually does do support attacks, so she's going to benefit from this. But mostly, I just need someone who does a lot of damage, right? Because this is going to be the all-fire team. I can't take Tololol in this last slot. Hold up, let me, we're going to grab a Lewis for this. You can also use a Kyohan, but we don't have a Kyohan in our platoon, so we're using a segment 6 Lewis instead. But, so this last slot, it used to be Tololol and her best friend Springfield was kind of like the budget options, but now that we have Lorelei in here, it's like we don't have enough room for both of them, so we kind of just need a character that is like does everything and doesn't need any outside support, right? Like an all-inclusive character. And the only thing that Fetusa needs is AoE damage to trigger her support attacks, but ironically, both Vector and Lorelei have the support attacks that we need. So we're going to actually be able to trigger those no problem. So this is going to work out pretty well. Even though there's no one buffing Fetusa's damage, she will benefit from Lorelei being segment 2, so she'll get the Ember Stack buff, the Blazing Embers for 40% or 45% extra damage. It's the only buff that's really going to affect her, but it's better than nothing. Let's do this and that and this. Damn, Pega, you gotta wail harder. So Pega says, even though my last time in the participation event, I was slightly wailing, you didn't put a dent in the vote. Well, that means you can't slightly wail, you have to mega wail. So we should start a movement. We need to start a movement to get someone who's not Macchiato and not Lorelei to win the popularity contest. They said a true upset. A Simpsons movie callback? Or were you talking about the That'll Do Pig quote? Because that's not from the... I mean, it might have been quoted by the Simpsons, but that's not what it's from. I'll give you guys a second try. I know you guys are going to Google it. Okay, Babe. Thank you, Mr. Pink CEO. He knows what's up. It's from the Babe movie with a little talking piggy. Oh my god, you guys are so uncultured. The Zoomers these days, they just don't know. We need the Tin Soldiers to go on these two because Tin Soldiers do a volley fire every active attack, similar to how Harpsy worked in the last run, where every active attack put a stack on the boss. Volley fire works the same way. So for example, if volley fire was on Klukai, every time Klukai zoomed, that's one active attack, so that would be a volley fire. But these guys both do 1 to 2 active attacks a turn versus Changju, who just ults and does nothing. Fetusa also kind of just does 1 attack a turn and then does nothing. So that's why we have to put him on these two. Homer said it a lot. I don't remember Homer saying it a lot, but yes, it's definitely from the Babe movie. I rolled 4 off-banner Paritias. Yes, trying to think. I think I might have targeted one at one point after I finished my Chongju and Tolols to their like important breakpoints. I think I had maybe. I think I might have picked a Pretia. But yes, I've been kind of blessed with Pretias, you know, hashtag blessed, because I don't think I have very many Veplings and I don't have very many Sabrinas, right? I mean, everyone gets her maxed, but my Sabrina, I have not gotten a lot of those from like losing 50-50s. So I've been pretty lucky. Almost all my 50-50 losses have been Pretias, Chongjus, and Tolols. And then we can just have her come here. Doesn't really matter when she goes. Let's get this party started. There's not really a whole much to narrate. So we're just gonna kind of breeze through this turn. People have questions about why I'm doing stuff. You could just ask the questions, but this team, I think, should be pretty familiar for a lot of people. I had Vector go first there, only so that Lorelei could have the accelerant buff this turn, which, to be honest, I'm not... Oopsies. No. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I said this, and I said... There, put that down first. Oh, God. Oh, not this glitch again. There we go. Maybe I should slow it down so we can actually see how this is all working. Well, I'll do it next turn. And then we'll do this because we don't have embers right now. Not yet. Not that it really matters. I think I'm min-maxing things that don't need to be min-maxed, personally. Okay, Chongju does the ult. Right, so you gotta remember, at segment 2 Lorelei, every time she takes a turn, or, what's it, it's buried in here somewhere. Yeah, every time she makes an attack with a skill, this thing is gonna do its AoE, which is 40% AoE burn damage. That will trigger Fetusa's attack. And actually, I need to do this first. Good thing I caught that. I need to dump all her confectants before she starts doing support attacks. So now when Lorelei goes, after she does this attack, it's going to AoE. Fetusa will do a support attack. She'll do her second attack. You'll see another AoE, another Fetusa attack, etc., etc. And then when she ends her turn. So I think this thing does 3 AoEs over the course of the turn. So here's her first attack. This should do 1 AoE. After Chongju. And after Vector. The volley fire. Oh my god. Wait for it. Wait for it. There's 1 AoE. Then that triggered Fetusa's attack. That's the volley fire. Oh my god. There's the second AoE from her ending her action, I think. And this is her second action, so this should do another one. So we're at 2 AoEs so far. It's another attack, so that is an AoE attack, which triggered. There's the third AoE from the robot. Here's the fourth one. Okay, so each active attack and essentially makes 2 of them, because the attack does 1, and then she's, quote, ending her action, which triggers the second one. That's why segment 2 is night and day difference. I tested this exact same team before I activated those segments. This exact same team got the boss to about 13% health, but could not kill the boss. I activated both those segments. Now we easily get kills. It's quite the difference. That was kind of all I wanted to show for that, so we're gonna continue to speed through if I can click the right buttons today. Who would I run if no Fetusa in this team? To be honest, kind of anybody. You could either do another fire character, like Sharkery is the budget option. I don't know if she does enough damage in this particular team. You might be a little short, because this team does go all 7 turns to get the kill. So I'm not sure if Sharkery would be enough damage to finish this boss off, but you get pretty close to a kill. The other options is you could just take a different beat stick. Like, for example, if you have a segment 6 Voimastina, even though she doesn't benefit from any of this stuff right now, she's just going to do a lot of damage. Should obviously do a lot more damage than Fetusa, because, I mean, that's how it is for almost every character. A high segment character will out damage a low segment character that matches all the elements in team building almost all the time. And yeah, we got to do this. So yeah, the short answer is you could also use Sakura too. There's no reason to bring another character that does Embers necessarily for that. Between Lorelei and Lewis, you have 100% uptime on the Embers, so you don't necessarily need to bring Sakura for that. But, you know, she's not a bad choice. She just does decent damage. And she's going to be benefiting from a lot of the other fire buffs. Because even though, once they're done with his attacks, even though, you know, Lorelei has it so that Glowing Embers affects everyone, the other half of it, one of these buffs only affects fire damage. I can't. Well, Accelerant only affects fire. That's more of a vector thing. I forgot. There's something in here that only affects fire still. So you still do benefit from being a fire unit in this team, even though you don't strictly need to. No segment 6 Kyohan, only because I'm too poor and my platoon does not have one. But yes, a segment 6 Kyohan would also be really good. A segment 0 Kyohan, I think, does like way less damage than a Sharkery, so I would avoid using that. But if you have a segment 6 Kyohan sitting around, then yeah, that's a solid option. I think she might get a kill faster than Lewis does in this team. I'm not sure. I said I don't have one in my platoon, so I can't test that. Oh, I forgot the meme, guys. Oh, I didn't put the song on. We'll do it on the 7th turn. And Chongju's turns are just so comfy. You never have to think. You just press that alt button. And then we'll have Lorelei come here. After turn 1, you kind of don't really care about Lorelei's rotation. You usually always use this after your ult because it just does more damage. Oh my god, Windows. You plan this? Do you plan this? Literally a whole week. You have a whole week to bother me with this notification. You literally wait till I'm streaming. Every time, dude. Every time I get rid of that, it just comes back. It's like, oh, you need Windows updates. It's like, oh, by the way, your Windows 10 is out of service. And it's like, bro, just go away. I never asked for this. So sorry, that was my Windows. What were we doing? We're playing the game, having fun. So we're kind of close. We're on track. At the end of turn 4 here, you usually have to be under 50%. But this team is a little misleading because Fedusa backloads so much of her damage with the synchronicity or reversion. So we're actually doing pretty good right now. I'm pretty sure we can get a nice comfy kill. I'm not really paying attention too much to what I'm doing, by the way. I'm kind of looking at chat. So if I'm making some pretty obvious mistakes, you know, it's not intentional. But And I am trying to do this relatively well so that you guys can copy it. Once again, usually always want Vector to go first because we want to have the accelerant buff up. This is a segment 2 Vector, which applies attack up for Blazing Assault. That is less important these days because Lorelei also does that, so there's a little bit of overlap there. Also, if I really want to min-max, which I think I will, just to really... I really want to show everyone that I know how to play this game. We're going to have Vector now be the far target because Lewis is at 3 stacks. So from here on out, we're going to have Vector be getting the far debuff. I'm also missing out on some damage because I was talking and not playing. I should have had Lewis use Surprising Fun Ball at the beginning of the turn there to knock 2 stacks off right away, but that's okay. I don't think we're going to need to min-max that hard. I'm pretty sure we can get a nice comfy turn 7 kill with this team. Unless I like horribly mess something up. I have a segment 6 Kyohan. She racks up about 9 million damage alone. But to be fair, my platoon doesn't have a segment 6 Lewis. I want to say this Lewis does 7 to 8 million. So Kyohan would probably be out damaging her. It's a little apples to oranges though, because you have to change the team building a little bit. Lewis, as long as you have Lorelei and Vector, or maybe even Tolol, she's going to get, because she gets damage based off how many attacks they're doing per turn. Kyohan, I think you have to, don't you have to bring, because there's no upper limit to how many stacks that she can get on her sizzling stir fry or whatever it is. So I want to say you just want to run units that just attack multiple times as well, but they can be support attacks, right? They don't have to be active attacks. So, you know, units like Perry were decent. No, we want Lorelei to go. The reason we're having Lorelei go before Vector just ulted last turn, so she still has 1 turn of accelerant. I actually want to do all of her support attacks before she goes, just to get the most value out of this accelerant. Because see, all these support attacks she's going to do right now benefit from accelerant. You can see the extra fixed damage popping up at the end whenever she makes an attack there. 16, 22. Meanwhile, if I had Vector gone first, the accelerant buff would have fallen off right after the first attack. We have to have Fake Tusa go. She just does a normal dash this turn. You sure it's not 6 to 7? Oh my god, I fucking 6, 7. Oh, the brain rot. Oh god, I feel my soul leaving my body. Whoa, big ult, big ult. This monster is so, you know, it's the little things in life, you know, it's like 90 something degrees outside and like 99% humidity. And this refreshing monster energy drink is just so good. Really just takes your worries away. I would say we're pretty comfy this turn. Let me make sure I don't mess this up. Once again, Vector has to go relatively first to get the accelerant buff up for everybody. And now that she got the far debuff, we ripped all the stacks off right away, which is good. I can already hear, I can literally hear people unsubscribing from the channel now after the 6-7 comment. 6-7, fucking unsubscribe, dude. And then we want to put more buffs up with Lorelei. I want to unsubscribe from my channel. Report myself, dude. Oh yeah, dude, we are sitting real good on this run. I think this daily buff is very strong for this team. Whoops, not that. This one here, when performing a support attack, crit damage goes by 3, so that's 15% crit damage, and you ignore 25% defense. That is pretty strong, I think, because this team normally, well, I guess that's, the defense ignore is a little less important because you normally get to 100% from the mechanics, but the crit damage is just very spicy. Okay, let me do this right. We got to turn battle performance on. Don't skip. All right, we got to prep this, get the full effect. Got revision. Prep the song. Here we go. He timed it so good, dude. The timing, oh, that's cinema right there. We didn't even use the second revision. Okay, so this Lewis did a little more than 6, 7. She did 8 million. But yes, if your Kyohan is doing 9 million, then, you know, obviously it's just better performance overall. Yeah, I mean, this is just, like I said, Fetusa is literally just here to do solid numbers, right? 2.5 million. I'm gonna guess this is more than Sharkery would in this team. And since you don't really need anybody else for Embers, I don't know, maybe one of you guys can comment. I don't know what a segment 0 Sakura does on this fight in this like particular team. This is a pretty common team, so I would imagine somebody might have an idea. But I don't know what a segment 0 Sakura does, because she would benefit more from the buffs than Fetusa did. Paul says, be right back, banning me from Dandygate. Bro, it's not that serious. Is that Lewis with a blue gun? No, it's not. I mean, it might be painted blue, but I guarantee you, where's my boy? No, I guarantee you that's a good gun. That's a real gun. There's no way she did 8 million damage with a blue quality gun. I don't know where to look to check because I can't go back into I can't go back into rental units right now, but this is a trust me bro moment. I've checked that, Lewis, and my boy here, my boy in the chat, you know, he can back me up here. I can tell you what a segment 6 Sakura does. Well, nobody cares what a segment 6 Sakura does because you're the only person who got one. You and maybe Paul. This Fetusa did the same damage that my segment 3 Sakura did. What? Is that true? Damn. I mean, this Fetusa is not, like, it's just kind of, I mean, it's not horrible. It does have a gold set though. I mean, this is probably the biggest difference, is that I do have a full calibrated close assault set. And she's segment 1, but I'm surprised segment 3 Sakura doesn't do more than that on a fire team. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing too crazy. Like, I don't have any. The keys are, let's look at the keys real quick. I want to say they are decent keys though. Yeah, okay, I did give her real keys in this team lineup. These, she's running like actual keys that give her a lot of damage boost. So that also might be a little bit of a difference between the numbers you're seeing. Because if you start cutting things like this out, like this is a lot of crit damage across 3 keys, 15% crit damage, and then 10%, 7%. This one's not always active, but still, you're looking at like maybe another 20% damage. It can add up pretty quick. So there we go, guys. There was your easy guide to how to Gunsmoke. We are just, let me look at the Harpsy real quick. Somewhere in here was one of the ones that talked about I don't know why it did 6 segments, unless I wasn't paying attention. Is that just what it normally does? Does it normally put... Back when we were using Harpsy, she did... excuse me. She did 6 stacks of priority or antivirus when she ulted, and I'm trying to figure out why 6 as opposed to 3. I guess it's because... Maybe I just misread how her passive works. Oh, so each point of confectance expended by the alt triggers priority progress. So it doesn't matter that the alt costs 3. The point is it costs 3, or sorry, whoops, down here. It costs 3 and you're expending 3 extra, so that's 6 total. So that's what's taken into effect for the passive. I thought it was every point past 3, but it's just every point, period. So that's how you get 6 stacks from alting. But the last fortification segment, which I'm looking to get, not bad, is this one goes from 20% per stack to 30%. So that's a decent damage buff. And then also, this is kind of weird. When it triggers, instead of all the stacks going away, only 70% rounded up go away. That's a really random number. Like, they could have just said half rounded up or quarter rounded up. It's 70% rounded up is kind of weird. And to be honest, I feel like this is what made her a mediocre unit. If this would have just said the stacks don't clear, or the stacks only clear whatever, a quarter of them, this unit would be incredibly strong, because it would just be getting, the longer the fight goes, the more and more stacks would be accumulated. And I think she could be pulling like Kyohan numbers. Yeah, maybe not that much, but she would, instead of be pulling 3 million damage over the course of a fight, she'd be pulling like 6 million, which I think is pretty fair for a limited or a standard character, but you need 6 segments for. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean, at the very least, she should be doing Tolol and Chongju levels of damage, right? Like, because both of these characters, these are kind of the standards, like as far as like what a segment 6 standard character should do, like damage wise. So she should be doing at least as much as they are or more. That was my humble opinion. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Wow. Hour and 40 minutes. I'm pretty good at talking about nothing, aren't I? I'm going to double check my notes here, make sure I didn't forget anything. I did my shilling already. I think it's time for some Dawnforger. And by Dawnforger, I mean some... It's still a little early to talk about the story. I am almost done with it. I got pulled away right before I could finish the last little tidbit here, but I have been enjoying it very much. It got very Gooner for about 10 minutes when one of these chapters, when they introduced Lorelei, got very, very inappropriate. But after that, they kind of simmered down and they got back to like the actual story, and it's been really good. I've been enjoying it. The themes that they're talking about, like I said, aside from the whole Lorelei gooning part, the actual like bigger story narrative with well, I won't say his name. There's a character that you meet, very cool. There's a couple characters that you meet are very cool. They they're very, very interesting. So we'll talk about that, I think, either next time we stream. I know I said story time, but can we do... Want to do a challenge mode? We can do one. We'll do one challenge mode. Let me see here. Oh, that's right. This is... I hate this so much. This is so lame. I really wish they would stop doing this. When they first started doing heroics, I felt like they were on a good track. They had a bunch of buffs that were like you could work around them, but these are so lame, dude. This is like, bro, if you're not running fire units, just don't even. Like all damage that's not burn damage is just reduced. Like, okay, you can't play around this. There's nothing to play around, right? It's just this essentially just says bring fire units. It's like, okay, fine. Same thing with here. Damage dealt reduced by 25%. That's like whatever. Standing on non-burn tiles, your damage goes down another 25%. So it's like, again, it's like bring fire units. This one, damage taken reduced by 20. All right, fine. Non-burn damage taken by another 10%, stacking up to 3 times, so 30%. It's like, bro, if you don't bring a fire unit, you're down 20, 50, 45, 75% damage. Now, once again, that's not final damage number. This is just like, according to how the math equation works, it's just minus 75% to your multiplier. So for example, if you did an attack that did a 100% attack power, it'd be doing 25% attack. Is whatever. It's not important. The important thing is, like, this just screams bring a fire unit, and it's just like, I don't know. That seems lame. It's like, I mean, I know they give you some preset units, but still, it's like, I don't like it when they really just hard force you into a certain playstyle. It's like, I liked things where it was like the enemies start out with whatever, say 3 stacks of damage reduction, and every hit takes a stack off. You know, things like that are much better. You know, it gives you a little more play. Either way, we're not going to use a fire team. We're not going to use a segment 6 Lind because that will be too easy. What should we use here? You want to try the corrosion team? Like with Harpsy? We'll do the budget corrosion team. This is... Here we go. This is the budget corrosion team. This might actually go horribly wrong. But we'll see. What does this guy do again? I cannot remember. He's the one that triggers other people's attacks. This is the cannot do stuff. Okay. We're going to try. I make no guarantees on this because this is... We're going to see. We're going to see here. I'm just looking around. I'm looking at what my plan of attack is going to be here. I think we're going to try and focus on the right side before we get too deep into the left side. It's also weird that these guys are not... They're not active, but I don't know how you can keep them that way, right? Like the second you do anything... Let's try this. I think we're going to turtle up on this side for maybe a turn or two, because I got to be a little careful. Yeah, let's turtle up like this. Yep, okay, so they I mean, I don't really know how you're not supposed to trigger them. Basti will probably actually make this a lot easier now that I remember that she stuns everybody. That will leave these... Yeah, we'll be fine. Easy game. I forgot that Basti... Okay, well, calm down, Fatusa. Calm down. Other people want to play the game too. Right, well, okay, well... I guess I hyped that up for nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, man, we gotta lock in. We gotta be careful. Maybe not. I didn't even do this right because I forgot to have Harpsy go first. And yeah. All right, well, that was anticlimactic. Watch, this guy's gonna one-shot somebody. Oh, dude, they're falling right for my trap. Absolutely baited, dude. Absolutely baited. Let me do this turn correctly, because this turn I think needs to do a little better. So we got to do Basti. We're going deep with Harpsy. And there's nobody else to do, so we'll just... Yes, that should be fine. We're gonna have Fatusa come to here. I think she comes to here, so she can get attacks on all these guys. Yeah, all right. Just had to measure that out before I move. Because I think these guys are all gonna die, and I don't think they're gonna circle around her and kill her in one turn. Surely not. Can we get a mine? Oh, perfect. It's like he planned it. Actually, we'll have Mishi go first. We'll have her. Can I need? Oh, never. I want to. Well, I guess I don't really need to move Mishti. It's fine. Let's do this. We're not going to kill the patroller, which I kind of wanted to. I guess we'll start building stacks up on this bulwark. I'm going to hope this guy doesn't one-shot anybody. I actually don't... Oh, is he stunned? Bro, I forgot. These guys get stunned. I think they ignore the second... They ignore one instance of stun because they're elites. Or I mean the second instance of stun. Okay, never mind. Easy game for babies. Who wants to get... Summon your Stan. Can we just dumpster this guy? Oh, that's such a small number compared to what we were seeing in Gunsmoke. I think Mishi will finish him off, though. And Fate 2. Oh, watch this, dude. Mega Brain. Oh, actually, maybe not so Mega Brain. I mean, he's stunned. What does it matter? I was gonna put Fetusa in a super mega spicy dangerous spot, kind of like Harp Season, and then have Basti bring her to safety afterwards, and then I remembered this is kind of not needed. He's still alive. Is he the chosen one? I gotta turn those off again. We're gonna once per day. I think we've had enough fun for today. Easy game for babies. See? You don't even need segment 6. I'm only segment 5. Actually, keeping everyone stunned from Basti is like, it's almost as good as having segment 6, but I think that's going to be the end of our stream for today, guys. You know, we could do one of these real quick, but we will reconvene, I think. Oh, there's story. Okay, here's story time, I guess. Oh, but is it not voice acted? Do I have to voice act this for you? No, I don't do that. We've played this game multiple times. There's no way that they're now going to try and spin this as like, bro, we just came up with this game. We added our own spin to the assault simulation game. Okay, all right. They try to eat your candy? All right. You're such a sourpuss, Klukai. Why you always gotta be so negative? Just have fun. Just for 5 minutes. This is why I'm not buying you a wedding dress, because you never want to have fun with me. Whenever I want to do something, you never want to do it. Oh, dude, they said the phrase. Yeah, see, we got her. We convinced her. Yeah, dude, thanks for coming, Mr. Thundercat. I think the next stream will either be next week. I think we're gonna do either next week or 2 weeks from now. Just keep tuned. I don't know if I can do next week. I mean, I can't do 4th of July, and what is next week? The 6th? Maybe I can. Maybe I can, because I also have to keep in mind that I'll be gone for a week later in July because I'm going to the mecca of gambling. I'm going to actual Las Vegas, so we're going to gamble in real life. So we're going to have a pause in the stream for a couple weeks while I do that. Uh-oh, she's angry. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, Klukai is such a not Gunnar character when she's like in the story. Then you look at all her costumes and it's like, look, you walk around like this? Okay, guys, I need to protect the candy. Who am I protecting the candy with? Are they going to give more characters to this? I could have swore they said that the Clukini was one of the characters you could pick. Oh, whoa, what is all this, dude? Did they upgraded this whole system? Okay. They do anything? Not really. Whatever, we're just gonna go with Andrus, because, like, assault rifles are well-rounded. What is... Alright, let's just... You know, keep my candy safe, dude. I still can't believe that this is considered. Oh god. I don't even have anything to say about this because, you know, this is such riveting gameplay. I'm like so focused right now. I'm very distracted. These sound effects too, the little splashing sound effects. Peak, as the younglings say. I don't know about that. All right, come on, Catlinas, you're gonna have to try a little harder to get close to the candy. I know this is like baby mode, but still, come on. You guys didn't even make it past the first sandcastle. Oh, we got the boss. We got the boss. Nope, dead. Deleted. So, like, can you even lose this? Like, if I just hang out here. Oh, what's this? Get this. All right, here we go. Lock in. Oh my god, he's doing so much damage. The jiggle physics. Genshin could never. Damn, it says there's no waves left, but they just keep coming. These squishy sound effects, dude. The fucking costume tail is just like... It's just... Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, we're done. We're done. That's enough. Yeah. Yeah. Oh... 50% of the game's budget, dude. Oh, good Jesus. Oh, of course this is time gated too. Can't have too much gooning at one time. Well, thank you guys for coming. Today, this is the end of the stream for real this time. Like I said, next week, I think I'll try and do one next week just because in the future we're gonna have to skip a couple weeks. I don't know what we're gonna do necessarily. I guess we'll do the rest of the challenge modes because they should be open. And I don't know, we'll just hang out, have a good time. I'll hopefully have some more information on AK-12, aka Colita. So we'll have some more information on her. Hopefully I'll have like some decent like videos to show you of like how she actually works. And maybe we'll even no, we won't have any previews on AR-15 just yet. That's gonna be a couple weeks away, so either way, hope you guys have fun with Dawnforger. You know, good luck on the rest of your Gunsmoke runs for the week. And, you know, you guys just have a great day in general. For all the Americans out there, you celebrate 4th of July extra hard for me. So, I will catch you guys later. See ya. Also, give me recommendations for who to put in the corner here. Who's going to be our next mascot? Right now we have Tarius. But you know, maybe we'll slide somebody else in there. So good luck. See you guys next time. Bye bye.